September 29th, 2023. It's almost a new month, and that's scary to me. Welcome to In the Weeds on Fightful Overbooked. It's very strange when you have to pay your bills every month, Jeremy Lambert. It's not fun. So instead, we're going to have some friends join us on the show to help us pay the bills. How about that? We got Cameron Hawkins. How about that? 10:30 a.m. Hopefully, he's going to join us, talk about some No Mercy, talk about his interview with Eddie Kingston that dropped this past week, and a whole lot more. But till then, Jeremy Lambert, how are you?
Did you rhyme to start the show?
Yeah, I tried to. Did it work? Did you get it?
I mean, I caught that you rhymed.
Yeah. I try to.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
I try to do something. It's Friday, so you got to be a little festive or something, I guess.
Yeah. Is that what we're calling? Like fans of the show? Dandelions?
I don't think that's what we're doing. Some people called them Wheaties, and I don't know. Dandelions kind of feels. God damn, you gotta find strong. And dandelions aren't strong.
No, I kind of like dandelions.
Yeah, because
it's no worse than colliders.
that is all-time greatest wrestling name for fandom.
As long as we don't have to give Ryan any cut of dandelions, then I think dandies. Yeah.
Hello, dandies. It's good to see you again. Hip hip.
I can't wait until Zack Sabre Jr. is on commentary on Saturday, just calling everybody dickheads and shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, sorry. 5 minutes.
2 minutes.
I do that every single time. Is like once I curse once, it just rolls after that. Like once it's within the 5 minutes, I say one word and I'm like, oh, I said the word, and then I just spit out the next word.
We keep getting gold dollar signed on our videos lately. I don't know what it is. And the thing is, we're other than what just happened, we're not doing anything wrong. I don't know what's going on. By the way, gold dollar signed is not a good thing in the YouTube world. That's a limited revenue thing. But then after review, I wish.
Austin Powers.
I know what you're talking about. I wish it was that easy. I wish that was so. Basically, now that Jeremy has opened the swear jar, y'all should donate to it. Leave a thumbs up on the video, and of course, subscribe to us at Fightful Overbooked. But yeah, you gotta leave some super chats so that we can make up for Jeremy's swear jar. Jeremy, what did you do?
Is this how we bully people into like leaving us money? Is I swear and then be like, hey, everyone pay my fines for me.
You know what? How about if y'all donate enough money, Jeremy will sing "I Swear" by Boyz II Men.
When did this happen?
Boyz II Men, is it?
When did this happen?
I don't know. When didn't it happen? Give us money. How's that? Oh no.
Yeah.
Someone's hacked the stream again.
Good.
Here he is. It's Friday.
Joel, were you the one that put Bret Hart in that sharpshooter? Was it you?
Yes.
I think it was.
Yeah,
I think you were the referee for that match.
Wait a minute. I have more hair than that guy.
Oh, sorry. Wrong conspiracy. Wrong Joel Pearl.
Can't believe that. The other guy's in North Idaho, so how could you do this?
I mean, you could be from North Idaho.
I could be. I'd be a very successful realtor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Your face would be everywhere.
It is. It's not my face. It's the other Joel Pearl, but like, yeah. It's not a bit, Andrew. There really is a realtor in North Idaho whose name is Joel.
Is that really? Is that really?
Yeah.
Interesting. What kind of hoodie are you wearing?
A Tim Dillon hoodie.
Oh, okay. It looks pretty sweet.
Tim Dillon gave it to me.
Okay, nice. What conspiracies do you have for us today, Andrew Zarian?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to talk about in professional wrestling, right?
Who cares?
But I think the big one we need to talk about is how many Ultimate Warriors were there?
This is a very important.
I personally counted 7.
7. Wow.
7 Ultimate Warriors.
I got 5. How'd you get to 7?
I got to 7 because the airbrush era of the Ultimate Warrior were multiple Ultimate Warriors, depending on the airbrush.
Okay. So there was the original Warrior.
The Dingo.
Yeah. Then there was the WWE run Warrior, the first run.
Just one interesting fact about the Dingo Warrior. Do you know where he was billed out of?
Dingo Bay.
That would make way more sense. He was originally billed from Queens, New York.
Plenty of dingoes. No, wait, that's dinguses.
Oh, wow. Joel with a burn.
Once in a while, Andrew Zarian, once in a while.
Once in a while. There are a lot of dinguses here, for sure. That was one Ultimate Warrior. And then there was the Ultimate Warrior when he teamed up with Sting.
Yes.
Right? That's another Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
There was the original one that came into WWE with the white undies.
All right.
Right?
4.
Okay. And then there was the actual Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
The only real Ultimate Warrior, right, was the Hogan era Ultimate Warrior when he beat Hogan.
One. The
successful one, right? That's 4.
Oh yeah, that's 4. I double counting
Yeah.
the Hogan Warrior.
Okay. Then you had the Return Warrior in 92.
Okay.
Okay. 96 and 98.
All right.
And then there was the Hall of Fame Warrior. That's a different one too. So that's 8 warriors.
Yes, Hall of Fame Warrior. I was about to say.
And I'm gonna add. I'm gonna get extreme homophobic right-wing warrior as another one. So that's 9 Ultimate Warriors. Sorry. And the Family Man Warrior 10.
Hold on. Jeremy, were there balloons that just popped up behind you?
Yeah, I have no idea why.
What is that? Can you put up the number 8 again?
Yeah, just do 8. Is that what happened?
Down and then bring
I have no idea why balloons. I thought you
7?
did that, Joe.
Ah!
Joel is doing this.
No, he is not.
Put your hands up, Joel. Hands up. Okay. How's this going?
Oh!
Wait a second. No, Joel put his hands down there. Hold on.
This is a
hands
conspiracy.
Up, Joel, hands up. Hands up, Joel. Keep them up. I got. Oh,
what is going on?
What is happening?
There's something about the number 8 in the MacBook that's just driving it wild.
Listen,
what if I do it?
What is going on?
Yeah, I don't do an 8.
Can you do it?
No, I don't.
It doesn't work for you.
No.
Zarian comes on this show, and all of a sudden,
I'm spooky fingering you guys.
What is going on?
Oh, it's not working. Everybody's seeing this, right? Like, this isn't just like our gimmick here. It's not working now. Oh no.
No, now
okay, we called it out, so it's over.
I thought Joel was just doing it.
I wish.
There's legitimately there's been balloons following me in real life. Like, no lie. The kids got balloons. And the kids got balloons, and like it just drifts into our room at night. Like, we wake up and the balloon is just like in our face. It is just always. I was making coffee this morning. I turn around, the balloon is there. Like, balloons are just fall. I don't know what it is. So I'm very scared right now.
I had no idea this is not a normal thing. Okay. You grow up and then you realize like this like childhood trauma that you've suffered from grandparents and great grandparents with their mystic sayings kind of becomes a thing. Do you know I cannot sleep in a room with a balloon?
Well, can't put you in my guest room.
That's where you keep all your balloons.
No, look behind me. Have y'all not been following this bit?
Can't really see. No, I mean, we don't see them too often. I can't really tell what they are.
Oh, those are Mylar balloons. Yes, Mylar balloons are apparently really bad for you, but I'm talking about latex balloons.
Okay, yeah.
Up again.
I'm trying.
Okay? There.
Chinatown Spurs sent a super chat saying, "Jeremy, you got to get out of there. It's Pennywise's music."
This is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
I'm telling you. I told you. Big wrestling knows that I'm exposing the truth.
You are.
That's so crazy.
Tony Khan is sending those balloons as a threat.
Zaria, you've got to. You're too close, Zaria. You're too close.
I'm too close. I'm getting hot. It's getting too hot here. I got to cool off.
Hold on.
Cool off. We'll see you next week.
Wait, hold on. This is the big question. Which warrior was WWE Hall of Fame warrior?
Well, I mean, obviously that.
Well, there was that.
Oh no.
Oh no. That's it. We'll never know.
Zarian's too close.
He got too close. Flew too close to the sun like Icarus and his balloons.
It is not my birthday. My birthday was 2 weeks ago, actually. I don't know what these balloons are. Like, this is not a bit, everybody.
It's really not.
It's not. Look, they don't work anymore.
They,
Oh, there it goes.
They are.
Fight them
What
off.
is this bit? I wish I can't. Can I do this? No? Is this
No.
a StreamYard thing?
I don't know if it's StreamYard. I have no idea. Thank you. Happy birthday to who was it? The chat's your younger brother. Happy birthday to your younger brother, MDB. Happy birthday. That was so weird. I legitimately thought you were just doing it. I thought you're like, oh, you just pushed it up there. You hit some button. That's funny.
I swear it's not. And clearly we've seen that it's not the case.
Yeah.
The anonymous ITW general manager just sent me a photo of the birthday balloon that you were talking about.
It follows me everywhere. Legitimately, like I'm sleeping and I wake up and it's just in my face. We go to bed and it's just in our room. I don't get it. It's in the kitchen. It just follows me. I'm tired of that thing. Now they got these balloons. I can't escape these things. Oh my God. Oh, this is scary.
It's very
strange. Very scary.
These balloons are literally following you into the digital realm.
Guys,
we
got to do something about that. Why is it when it's 8? Are there 8 balloons that come up? Can we count these?
Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, there's a lot more than 8.
Yeah, there's more than 8.
A lot more than 8. Something's going on there. And I tried looking it up. And I don't see anything. I looked up MacBook and 8 balloons or StreamYard and I don't know what it is. There's a setting somewhere that's causing this weird effect to pop up on your screen.
It's so, oh my gosh. What have we uncovered? What is Zarian uncovered?
He is
here.
He's bringing this. We are opening the Pandora's box of weird pro wrestling.
It doesn't work when it's any other number either. Oh, wait, 2. Maybe it's the 2.
Maybe it is the
because 2. Because when it go, oh no, because 8 is 3, so never mind. 8, so 2 and 8.
What is
happening? What is going on with this?
Yeah,
let's go with 2.
Crest is in the chat saying you're a wizard.
Wait,
That broke me. We're just gonna leave this. We're just gonna leave this dead air.
What?
I don't know
what just happened.
That was fantastic.
It came right when the balloons popped up too.
I love good comedic timing bits. That was great.
Folks.
That was fantastic.
I told you this balloon just follows me.
It just found you right there.
It just came.
Oh my God.
Right. Oh my. Oh.
Wow. That got me. Okay. We got it. It's funny because now we both have balloons in our background, so that's good. Is this the timing? The timing was impeccable.
Oh my gosh. It just hit me in the head.
Oh.
Look, it just floats right back to me.
Yeah, it loves you. It's a big fan of you. Yeah, it's like it's your new child. Congratulations, muzzle off.
I got enough of those.
Yeah, well, now you got another one.
I got enough of those.
No, you got another one. Justified. This is awesome chat from Louis. Thank you so much. And Caden's saying that it'll arrive sometime today. Your birthday balloon has already arrived.
Yeah, allegedly he sent me a gift. I'm very scared.
Oh yeah, that was the whole "you'll never send it," and then we bullied him into sending it. And then last week he
Yeah.
was like, "I sent it, Joel. I'm better than you." And I'm like, "No, we just bullied you to do the thing you were supposed to do a while ago." So clearly, who's the winner here? And Drew sent us this very generous super chat saying for Jeremy's cursing and the ITW Balloon Fund. Oh my goodness,
Oh.
I've been broken. That's it. We don't need to do anything.
No, 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 no. It comes back. Look at this thing. I pushed it away. It just comes back.
Oh, Pennywise, thank you for the super chat. You'll float too. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Yeah, Ryan's talking about like FaceTime backgrounds, and there's a bunch of those that you can set up, but like this isn't a FaceTime chat. It's very strange.
Oh, I have no idea. Wes almost says if this is a bit, it's the best thing. It's like a bit that's not a bit because legitimately the balloons just popping up, I did not know about. Like I didn't know that was going to be a thing. And I told you guys that there's been this balloon here in our house that has been following me, and here it comes arriving. Like it's not a bit. This is a real thing with these balloons. It certainly wasn't a planned bit. I mean, turn everything into a bit. Bits sell money, apparently. But no, this was not a planned bit. That's for sure.
I mean, we're getting people, retweeting the video, just being like, "This is the funniest episode ever." So clearly, we're onto something here.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
god, I don't know what that was. What a way to start my day. You'll float too.
Oh man, what happened today? I said science is stupid. I'm quoting the great Brian Danielson here. And now I think science is very real with balloons and just how all of this stuff is work. Zarian comes on and all of a sudden, like, oh man. Oh.
So yeah, like I see Alan in the chat saying it's a new feature in macOS, but the question is, what triggers it? Because
Yeah.
the numbers 2 and 8 did it. This isn't macOS 8 or macOS 2. So like, what are we doing? Is it macOS 10? What if you put up 10 fingers? It's not OS 10 because we're well past that.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
I mean, it just so 2 would do it. Oh, 2, there it goes. Okay, so 2 works, but yeah, like what? Why is it 8 and 2?
Yeah, it's very surreal. Yeah, the problem is it's a Mac.
Oh wait, it's like between 7 and 8 right there.
Yeah, it might just be because I don't know. This is riveting. This is just riveting content. Yeah.
Audio listeners are like, why was there silence for like a minute there?
That's fine. I know how many audio listeners we have, and
it's hand gestures. All right, look, I believe all of you guys. I'm sure there are like settings where I can like change all of this. I didn't know any of this. I did not know any of this. I was just holding up fingers to count with Zarian, and all of a sudden, this happened. And then we spun it into gold, baby. Spun it into cash, like the greats do.
Did we ever? My goodness. What a way to start the show.
We're allegedly talking about wrestling today. There's like stuff to talk. I mean, we got Seahawk Cameron Hawkins joining us in like 8 minutes from now. So like, do we really want to dive into any type of big wrestling in 8 minutes?
No, so we'll get into one thing. I was going to say, so my balloons that are here, that's been not a bit, but it's just kind of been a test of myself. These things have been here probably for about 3 weeks. And if you go back like to 3 weeks ago on this show, they were flying high, baby. And now they're deflated like my ego. So shout out to those balloons. I'm trying to get Impact Wrestling to tell me the dates for Hard to Kill 2024. It'll be in January because I looked up flights on a whim and I got like a $200 return flight if I can plan it right and the timing's good. I got to find friends who work at the Palms Casino and just go enjoy Impact at the Pearl at the Palms. There should be another Pearl at the Palms is all I'm saying, Jeremy Lambert.
Oh, good luck with you and Impact. That's it's a hit and miss relationship. They love you. They love you over at Impact. Except Steve Macklin. Steve Macklin's gonna beat your ass, which I can't wait for.
Good. Forget that guy. I hope I get a room at the Palms and they're next to his, and all I'm gonna do all night is just bang on the wall all night, just keep his ass up all night. I'm sure he'll probably get me back somehow. I won't say how, but he'll get me back.
He'll just choke you out and force you to sleep. Why are you trying to? I mean, I'm trying to get you to fight Steve Macklin. You got a death wish trying to fight this man.
I don't have a death wish. I have a plan that when Steve Macklin and I
run away as fast as you can. That should be your plan.
Listen, this past week on Impact, Steve Macklin was getting hunted down by Rhino, and Macklin goes to Bully, and he's like, "Hey, I helped you with PCO, so you got to help me with Rhino." And Bully's like, yeah, I know Rhino. I'll talk to him. And Macklin's like, talk to him. You're soft. And I'm like, okay, this is good. Suddenly Bully Ray is like my favorite human being. So I got a plan, Jeremy Lambert.
I don't think it's going to end well for you, Joel. I mean, I'm for it. Go for it. Whatever you want to try to test Steve Macklin, good luck. I'm going to need a new co-host on this show.
You might.
Not might. Not might.
We'll see. Ryan Sullivan's asking, back to my question, how much for Jeremy to sing All My Life? Are we talking the Casey and JoJo song or the Foo Fighters song? There is a difference in terms of money.
Why did people want me to sing?
This is a good one. How much for Jeremy to sing by the Crash Test Dummies?
I don't know that song.
Yes, you do. Once there was this kid who...
You severely overestimate my knowledge of music that is not Taylor Swift related.
That's very, very fair. Hey, did you know that Taylor Swift invented football?
She did. So there was this football game last night against the Packers and the Lions. These teams didn't exist until this past Sunday. Taylor Swift just decided on a Thursday night, since there's nothing else on a Thursday, she said, hey, why don't we have football on a Thursday? But I don't need the Chiefs, Travis Kelce's team. I don't need the Chiefs playing on a Thursday night. I've already booked them to play on Sunday night. She invented Sunday Night Football. But let's do this Thursday game. So she came up with the Packers and the Lions because the Bears, who the Chiefs beat this past Sunday in the game that Taylor Swift invented, she's like, they need division rivals. Why not the Lions and the Packers? We'll put them on Thursday night. We'll call it Thursday Night Football. And then, thus we had the Packers and the Lions on Thursday Night Football. Thank you, Taylor Swift. Your power.
Hashtag bow down.
Yes.
I thought that was tonight.
I mean, it is tonight, but yes, Taylor Swift invented football, Sunday Night Football, because we have nothing better to do on a Sunday night. Taylor Swift invented that. So yes, there we go.
Oh, Warrior Wrestling's in the chat saying that they hope it's Frank the Clown. AEW should take. You know what? Keep Frank the Clown away from AEW. Okay. I want to continue enjoying AEW as much as I can. So keep FTC LLC and all of its associates the hell away from my AEW. You really want him there, don't you?
In AEW, I wouldn't mind Frank the Clown in AEW. He's
What?
fun. I like him.
What?
You just have bad taste, Joel. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with Warrior. We've suffered enough. Go back and check out our interview in the archives, as Connie would say on any podcast that he hosts. Go back in the archives. And anyway, I'm not going to do that. Cam Hawkins is going to join us in a few minutes. And the only other thing that I wanted to point out was I saw the Observer talking about Roman Reigns and the November 4th Saudi appearance. No real shock there. Throw out a name. Who's he going to face?
They did that. Wasn't this a story last week?
Probably.
They're just like rehashing stories. What are we doing?
Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, did you know that WWE has creative plans for Jade Cargill? Did you hear about this?
No, this is new. I didn't hear about this.
WWE has creative plans for Jade Cargill.
What do they entail? Do we know?
No, there's plans. Joel, plans can change.
Oh, dude! Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, our plans haven't changed, and he's a little early. So if he's ready, he can give me a thumbs up. Oh, he did. He played it cool though. He was like, "Oh, they're talking to me." Okay, folks, joining us now from. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. He's from Fightful. Okay. Because he does a show with us now. So I can just say Fightful and he can fill in the rest of the gaps. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, the one, the only Cam Hawkins joins us now. Hi, Cam.
Hey, guys. How's it going this morning?
Doing well. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right.
Look at that.
He's from The Ringer as well, Joel. Give him proper accreditation.
I'm from Camp Springs, Maryland is where I'm from.
Thank you. I did add in the video description, yes, the ringer's involved because Cam writes wonderful words, better than I can speak them. So yeah, we're good. We also host the show on Friday, so that's
man.
how's that show going, by the way? You and Rob Wilkins do
so it's crazy. So like I love Rob, number one. Let me start you start with love. You start with love. I love Rob. I told Rob, I said, Rob, I'm not doing a weekly show. I'm not doing it. I will do a show monthly because we have people like you, Joel, Jeremy, who do this thing very, very well. And I, believe it or not, I'm kind of to myself. I kind of exist in my little cave like very often. And so I read everything. I listen to everything. Like I'm the guy who I'll watch like Dan Le Batard talk about a thing and then Stephen A. Smith talk about a thing and then Skip Bayless talk about a thing. You know what I mean? Like I get all of the information. And so I'm always like, I don't necessarily have anything new to contribute to the weekly wrestling conversation. There are people who are very good at it who do it. So I said, Rob, I'm not doing a weekly show. Somehow Rob decided that the show was weekly. And I'm like, all right, well, but the last 2 weeks, Rob's been very good to me. As I bring the show down, I was very public about it. I started therapy, and that was very important for me. And part of me doing therapy was adjusting my schedule a little bit. I was a little bit more to myself about the things I was doing. And Rob's been very understanding, but we are going to come back Sunday. Because listen, not only is it going to be post NXT, not only is it going to be pre WrestleDream, but it's literally going to be in like the ending hours of the Toy Story Jacksonville Atlanta game. And how can I not give my impressions on that either glorious display or absolute damn debacle? It is going to be amazing. So yeah, me and Rob, my point is this coming Sunday morning, I guess it's noon Eastern, 11 Central. I look forward to it. Yeah.
First of all, flattery will get you everywhere. Thank you. Secondly, I do want to bring it around. I do want to say I saw that you had started therapy and that you were being very open about that, and I want to give kudos to that. I know I will say I've done this so privately. I am someone who speaks very openly about my therapy journey as well, and I think that erasing a stigma on therapy is a very important thing, and I'm glad that you have decided to be open and upfront about the fact that you have started that. So good luck on the journey. It's a fun one, and it's a busy one, and it's a crazy one.
Yeah. It's been it's interesting to sit back and like, they hit you with the like, so tell me what's going on, and then you start talking and you look back and you've been talking for an hour and a half, and then like you look at the therapist and their eyes are like. It's like, oh, that's a thing. Okay, it wasn't just in my head. So yeah, man, it's been really cool so far. I'm looking forward to the journey because something that I kind of downplay but have to acknowledge, like a lot of people kind of look up to me. Like, everybody's kids to me, but it's people our age, it's people from our demographic, but it's also young people. Like I know you guys get it, Jeremy. You work so hard and so frequently, so I know it happens to you. Joel, you're so good at what you do, and I know like you guys DMs are like my DMs. It's kids. How do I get started in this? How do I do this? Can you look at what I do? What's your idea for this? Who can I reach out to? And for me, those people knowing that it's not all unicorns and rainbows is super important to me. And so it's changed some conversations, and I'm happy to be a part of those because I want this thing to prosper. I want people to prosper too. People matter to me. So it's been really, really fun. Just changing the conversation a little bit for sure.
Anybody who hits me with the "I admire you" thing, I hit them with the Charles Barkley. I'm not a role model. Do not look up to me. No, if anybody comes to me,
wait, is it your birthday?
No, it's not my birthday. This balloon, watch Cam. Okay, ready? Oh, hold on. There it is. Look at this. Yeah, we've discovered this.
The first half hour of this show was us freaking out over balloons.
Okay. Yes. No, it's funny. This is like this week is one of the most populous birthday weeks in America. When I was in the 7th grade, I had a Texas history teacher named Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray might have weighed 14 pounds in all those clothes he wore. I say Mr. Gray because my mother's birthday is September the 23rd. One of my best friend's birthday is September the 23rd. Little girl I used to chase, her birthday is September 23rd. And I said, Mr. Gray, why are so many people's birthday the last week of September? And Mr. Gray looks at me dead serious. He said, Cam, because it gets really, really cold in the winter. I said, oh, okay. All right.
People get bored around the Christmas time.
Yeah. When you see a birthday balloon in September, you wonder. It could be right. But yeah, for sure.
My birthday is smack dab in the middle of September. It is the 15th. It was 2 weeks ago. So it's this balloon is a leftover balloon from a birthday. I think it was a month ago at this point. So yeah.
Why did the clown? I'm not comfortable with that.
Pennywise is attacking me today. It's very scary.
It's because that balloon's floating. Is that what it is?
Yes. Yes. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yes. Anyway. We're here to talk allegedly about wrestling and NXT. We do have a big NXT show coming up this Saturday, tomorrow night, NXT No Mercy. Cam, when you look into the card, what sticks out to you?
Trick Williams, Dominic Mysterio. So I was on the conference call yesterday. And even though I don't get up for wrestlers as celebrities, as a San Antonio kid, as a kid who had to run laps because Shawn Michaels literally stole his varsity football and put it on the news one night when Shawn Michaels retired. And I told Mello when we interviewed, like, I hold that grudge to this day. But as a San Antonio kid, being on a conference call with Shawn Michaels is crazy. You know what I mean? But my man Najir, Big Gold Belt Media, presented the question, about the progression and the coronation is too soon, but the elevation of Trick Williams. And Shawn Michaels was very honest. He was like, listen, he is one of the 2 to 3 hardest working people in this building. And so you got to think about the names that are there, the people who are very, very good, the people who shine, the people we know are great. Trick Williams is in there working. He asks questions. He wants to get better. You got to remember, Trick Williams was a receiver at South Carolina. The kid has swagger off the charts. And swagger is one of those buzzwords to say somebody's cool. No. You don't understand. Like, he carries himself like a superstar, but is the most humble person you've ever met. When myself, my man Phil Lindsay from Fightful, from Grab City, and my man Emilio Sparks, during WrestleMania season, we wrote a show for Sirius for Trick and Mello, for Top Dollar and Ashanti, and for MVP and Omos for DJ Who Kid's show. And Trick comes in, me and Mello, like, are friends. We have a different relationship. Trick was like, yo, I remember you from Wale Mania last year. And it was just love ever since then. He went in there, he gets on Sirius, and he totally does a remix of Lil Wayne's Good Looking Rapper from Dedication 2. And it's like the most beautiful thing. And like, we connect on that. It's great. Like Trick Williams is love Triple H. If Triple H was not around to tell Vince McMahon what Booker T was not, Booker T would have the opportunity to be what Trick Williams is going to be. He is just special, man. Like, you don't, again, Joel, you're from up there. I don't know what's going on down here, but Jeremy can speak to it, man. Like, it's hard to explain the appeal of an SEC wide receiver, whether they put up stats or not. Like, Odell Beckham Jr. is a cultural reset, not just for having one of the greatest catches ever, but it's his look. It's how he dresses. It's that women love him. It's that guys want to be around him. It's a different thing. And Trick Williams, again, like, if you look at his build, his athleticism, the way he carries himself, that is so world television title era Booker T. It really is that. And US title era Booker T. So I'm really, whether he wins or loses, there's a graduation point in NXT. We know Melo's almost there. We know Braun's almost there. The guys that they've been building up are about right there. And so whether he wins or not, his performance in this match is very, very important. How people receive him is very important. That is the biggest match I'm looking forward to. Like, I know I saw Melo and Dragunov in person 2 months ago. I know how good that's going to be. I know Tiffany Stratton's progression and how important Becky Lynch has been to her and how she's going to perform. Those aren't question marks. Those are established things. I'm excited to see the Fatal 4-Way tag match because I want to see these kids, Bronco and Lucian. They were shooting dice. They were shooting dice on NXT TV, right? But exactly, MDB 999. Look at DK Metcalf again. It is a look. It is a swagger. It's a presentation. I think this is. It's not a defining moment, but it's a big step on the progression chart for Trick Williams. So that's what I'm really looking forward to the most. Because Dominic, who is good, I think he would even admit, hey, they let me in there with the Sami Zayns and the Cody Rhodes of the world. I'm in there with the best wrestlers on the planet. They make me look good, So Dominic leading a match is going to be very interesting. But I mean, hey, if you want a guy to be a top tier babyface, there's nobody on the planet you can put him against that will get more heat than Dominic Mysterio, as crazy as that sounds. It's a compliment to Dominic. It's a compliment to Ray. But yeah, man, I think that match is the most important match for what NXT represents.
We have a rematch on the card of Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov. As much as we're looking forward to that, if we look past that, going back to Trick, it seems inevitable that Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes are going to have some sort of match down the line.
Are you allowed to say people are anti-black if they're from Canada?
Yes, we believe it or not, there is a wide population. There's a wide black population here. So
no, I know, but I just didn't know if we could say the other thing.
Listen.
I know who Donovan Bailey is. Like, I know, I get it.
Oh God, wait, they're from black hockey players. Damn it. Okay,
but no, I tell you what. Shawn Michaels, again, on the conference call, was like, I'm trying to write the best wrestling show on television. I believe we have the best 2-hour wrestling show on television. And listen, we've had, the mega powers explode. We've seen the Hardy Boys split, Edge and Christian split, the Usos split. We've seen all of these things. The Steiner split. I would present that, at least on American television, Shawn Michaels has written the very best will they, won't they buddy rivalry that anybody's ever written. And the reason I say it is this. Just on Tuesday night, you have Melo being too busy to acknowledge that Trick is going after the US or the North American title. In the same show, in a later segment, you have him dapping up Trick, but acknowledging that, I'm sorry, I'm just really focused here. A couple of weeks ago, you have Trick saying, I don't know, or I'm not sure. What do you say? I don't think that you can beat Dragunov, but turns around and says, I know you can beat Dragunov. Like, again, this is how people should talk when they split. It shouldn't be good guy and bad guy. Like, the key is a lack of communication, right? And it's not that they aren't friends and they don't care about each other, is that right now they have different goals. And when you have different goals with a friend, the communication is not always pure, but it still exists. Like, it's very, very, very well written. When I talked to Melo way back, HBK acknowledged how much of Melo how much of himself he sees in Melo. And so immediately my mind goes to HBK and Diesel, right? But it's so different. These guys are so much younger. They present so much differently. Trick Williams, if he existed with that body and that personality back when Diesel did, Trick Williams would be 92-time world champion, right? Because those guys didn't exist. But it's a different landscape. People are so much more talented now. They're so much more technically sound that he is still learning. But yeah, I mean, Joe, you as a Canadian white man, I understand exactly why you think there is a collision path between the two of them. That is what I'll say.
Now, hold on a minute. Hold on. My point in all this was actually, it's not a battle of attrition. It's not a hatred that boils between the two. It's the idea that someone wants to be the best, and it feels like Trick at one point is going to want to say, I want to face the best. I want to take on the best. And it's not a good guy, bad guy thing.
Exactly.
It's just two guys wanting to fight each other to see who's the best in NXT, because right now you go, what do they say? Melo's like, you come at me, you best not miss. That's Trick's going to be the guy who wants to come at his friend respectfully, and of course you're going to have some some tense moments and all that, but I think at the end, whoever wins, there's a handshake.
100%. Yeah, I think that they have an opportunity to do it the right way. Like, we saw a very slight tease with the Street Profits, like a year or two ago, when it almost looked like Tez was going into business for himself in storyline, but like to try to win a match, and the communication was off. And I'm glad they didn't pull the trigger on that, because I think still they are so good together. And Dawkins he's beating the underrated claims. Like, he's very, very good. But yeah, I agree. I do think that Trick is going to want to test himself against the best. I think Melo's going to be very hesitant. And what will be really, really interesting is even if it's a non-title, even if it's a false finish, Trick visually getting a pin over Melo, I do not think hurts Melo, because I think Melo's made, man. I really think he is. I think that while Dominic Mysterio is technically the young, cool guy on the main roster, nobody else is the young, cool guy on the main roster. I like Grayson Waller a lot. I think that he could be that. Austin Theory, he does not have that in him. And that's not a knock, but he just does not have young, cool guy in him, right? Tez and Dawkins are into their 30s. That is a mature act. So Melo does have the chance to be young, cool main roster guy when it's time. I do not think that even with synergy with NXT, he would be hurt by a loss to like a Trick. But yeah, Trick getting a visual pin or a visual advantage and them not going with that, I think would work for both of them. But I wholeheartedly agree. This thing has to come to a head. If for no other reason, like you said, it's not good guys and bad guys. I want to be my own man. There is not a way to be my own man if I'm not testing the man. So yeah.
What did Shawn Michaels say in the media call yesterday? He's like, too many stories are just, grr, I'm mad at you, grr, I'm mad at you, let's fight type of thing. And this could be not that. And New Day talks about all the time, we don't want to split, we don't want to do any type of match. If we got to do a match, here's kind of the way we want to do it. But otherwise, we don't want to do any type of like turn on each other thing, because that is the cliche in wrestling. And yeah, they do have a chance to do something different with Trick and Melo. I'd be fine if they don't have a match. If maybe Melo loses to Ilya, goes up to the main roster, since they like having them lose titles and then going up, and then Trick can go after Ilya type of thing. And then maybe you bring it back up to the main roster at some point, or Trick gives him the vote of confidence before he goes to the main roster. You don't have to have a match, but I do think that if they do go that way, the respect, like, let me test myself thing is sort of the better way to go. Another thing on this show is going to be the women's breakout tournament bracket reveal. A lot of talk of Jade Cargill. Is this, if you were running NXT, Cam, is this where you would introduce Jade Cargill?
No comment.
Are you scooping here? Can you DM me the scoop so I can pre-write the story?
Listen, everybody knows who Jade's best friend is, and everybody knows who my good friend is. So, no comment. Listen, I'd love to see Jade in any capacity on television. Me personally, I don't know if NXT is not a relegation. However, I think WWE, and you could hear how Shawn Michaels was talking about Gable Steveson. I think they would have been better served just having him do main roster things.
Why is
even if it's limited? Because again, I was in the building when Gable Steveson got booed out of the building. I do not think Jade Cargill would get booed out of the building. What I'm saying is, so if you've been watching Colorado football, right? They asked Dion about this 5-star that they have, and Dion was explaining why the 5-star wasn't playing, and there were like legitimate reasons for it, right? Typically, college coaches are not that upfront about a kid not watching film and not being prepared. And it's not saying that Jade is not watching film and not being prepared. It's saying that you guys get the same emails I get. Jade Cargill is the first wrestler, at least since I've been on WWE's communication email list, to get an email blast about signing. Okay. I think that you have her work at the PC, but you don't have her touch anything before she touches Raw or SmackDown. I just don't think you do. Okay. I just think that you put so much behind it that she needs to be in that higher space. I don't know if college reps benefit somebody whose debut match was against Shaquille O'Neal.
So you think it's a straight out of high school, straight into the pros scenario?
I think that there's never been a prettier Kevin Garnett.
Damn.
I say LeBron, high school, right into the pros. I do like the Kevin Garnett.
I just think Jade Cargill will tell you there's still work to do in the ring, right? But I just think again, NXT is not a downgrade for anybody because I think it's very valuable. You talk to a lot of the talent who's been wrestling around Io Sky will tell you that NXT was valuable to her because as good as she was, I need to know where the camera is. You know what I'm saying? It has its value, but this is also somebody who's been on TV for a few years. I just do not think that you put them in AAA ball. I think you put her up, you put as much around it as you need to. You drop those bumpers if you're bowling, do whatever you got to do. But I do think you start her on the main roster and go from there.
I think there's a good argument for that. I really do. You do have to DM me the scoop so I can pre-write the story.
DMing you shit.
That's part of the That's part of
I asked Ricky this yesterday when he was like, "Oh, I know who the Retribution people were."
Yeah, and that's why I bet you he sent you exactly as many DMs as I'm going to send you. But I tell you what, my close personal friend, my little homie Lola Vice, though, I'm excited for her, man. I really am. I don't know if it's her tournament to win, but we got cool WrestleMania weekend. We didn't really in-depth conversation. I say, look, you a lot of hype behind you. You got the MMA background. Clearly, you're great looking. I said, listen, you cannot go in there and on social media talking about how you can beat these girls up in real life. It's not going to sell one single more ticket. It's not going to get you one more fan. That character that you present that, get in that ring and do your thing, but do not gas it that way because it has not worked for anyone. It didn't work for Riddle. It didn't work for Ronda. That's not the game. That's not what you're presenting. And I think she was really receptive to it and appreciated it. I love how she's been presented. I love that she's next to Elektra Lopez. That's fantastic for me.
Pretty sure it was you who did that.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I'm not going to say I made it happen. I don't got no pullback there, but I might have made a prayer circle with the homies to make sure that's how things work out. But yeah, I think her in there as somebody they put a lot behind. I think something like that has more value for her on the come up than it does Jade, who has been big time undefeated streak champion elsewhere. I just think that you got to push her past that. If for no other reason, then you presented it like a big deal.
I think they do see a lot in Lola Vice. By the way, I listen to a lot of her interviews and she comes off very well. She comes off very passionate it just carries herself well. And you're right. Like, I didn't realize that you were the one giving her this advice, Cam, but she does not talk about like her MMA background of like, yeah, I could go in there and just hold my own and beat everybody and it's fine. She talks about like, no, I'm training. It's very hard. Like, she does say maybe there's a little jealousy from some women because I'm in this position and they're not. But look, that's Tiffany Stratton says the same thing. That's the game, right? Like, people are always going to be fighting for a certain spot, but she comes off very well in interviews. And the fact that they trust her to do a lot of those, I always think says a lot.
I recommend to everybody, if you find yourself with a very large bottle of champagne and a few solo cups, you'd be surprised at the conversations you can have with people in good positions. So,
Are you trying
maybe
to
just walk around with a bottle and a couple of cups and listen, you can give some good advice for sure.
I don't know if I can do that. I got to go to the liquor store. That's an investment. You know how expensive champagne
is? I didn't say buy the champagne. I mean, we had bottles on deck, baby. It was different.
Well, now that
Shout out to Wale Mania. Yeah, man. Yeah.
But now that you qualified it, now I can't actually figure it out. Oh, anyway, listen, I will go back to the Jade thing for a second because I just wanted to put this out there. Not once in the women's breakout tournament that they've presented it has there ever been someone who comes in and dominates the field. And you can tell that story just one time. And I think Jade is the person with whom you can tell that story and have her just prove I don't need to be here, but I'm here, period, in a story. And then it leads her to bigger and better things. That's my feeling, because they're going to do the announcement of the tournament brackets. You've got a big, hot Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton Extreme Rules match. There's something, there's room there. I don't know. That's just my feeling.
Yeah, hey, listen, steamrolling a tournament, that's different. I'm with you on that. That could be really cool for sure.
Cam, before we let you go here, we got to talk about your conversation with Eddie Kingston and how this came about and whether or not he was going to hit you with the spinning back fist over certain comments made a while ago.
Yeah, man. So, I know you guys have probably read the transcript on Fightful.com. I don't know if you guys got to actually listen to the podcast, because Eddie's, we're not the same guy, but me and Eddie probably hang around the same people, got into some of the same stuff, look at the world kind of similar. And so when you listen to the podcast, it's way more of a conversation and jumping in between each other. But how it came about was simple, man. I watched Eddie win that championship. I've read his Players Tribune stuff. I've always said his authenticity is just off the charts. I hit AEW the moment he won that title. I need to talk to Eddie. And they obliged, man. I caught him, on a mini press tour. And Eddie being Eddie, we get on the phone because Eddie don't like Zoom, right? We get on the phone. And so we're talking, man. And, how do you feel about winning the title, man? Who's the first people you talk to? What does it mean to do it in New York? And would you trade this for a Knicks championship? And he's like, of course I would. What do you mean? But what was really interesting, so there was, you always forget where the original tweet comes from. Basically, somebody said on TikTok, Vince McMahon convinced the world that world champions can only look one way. And I was like, it wasn't Vince McMahon. Like, even if Hulkamania is Vince McMahon, like, everybody kind of operated on the same system. They want their world champions to kind of look away. Are there outliers? Absolutely. But typically guys with big shoulders, slim waists, big legs, $1 million smile. That's kind of what they go with, especially on like the face side, right? So I literally was like, that's what they look for. And it ain't it's not about Eddie Kingston. And of course, Twitter being Twitter, they turn that into, how dare you say that about my beloved Eddie Kingston and his physique? How dare you? And of course, you can't hear it on a transcript, but I literally say, Eddie, I tried to have a nuanced conversation on Twitter. You know how that goes. He was like, yeah, and starts laughing. But no, I told him, I was like, listen, you are, as complete as they come. And it's funny, he's complete in the same way I joke about Adam Cole being complete, but, built like a grocery store bouncer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm acknowledging how good you are in spite of what may be a limitation. And Eddie totally understood. And he was like, people don't know how hard I work to be this, like how much work I got to do to be this guy. And he was even like, do I overeat? Like, yeah, I do. And it's probably something I can work on, but I bust my ass to look like this. And it's like, yo, like, you know, Kevin Owens to me is probably, you know, he's one of the most complete wrestlers I've ever seen. You know, Shayna Baszler does not have a Trish Stratus, Lita, Tori Wilson. I'm just throwing names out there, but Shayna Baszler has a fighter's physique, and I will watch Shayna Baszler wrestle over 99% of people on this planet because of how good she is at what she does. And so, no, it's the guys who are mean and scary understand what you're saying because they have to operate in this world like real people. And so, nah, man, it was love. It's one of my favorite conversations that I've had because, like, I say no doubt a lot. I don't get to say no doubt when I'm talking to Steve Austin. You know what I mean? Like, you got to present different. But I got to be me talking to Eddie, and Eddie is always him. And even before we started recording, I said, Eddie, you know, as somebody who deals with depression, like, I love you being you, and I love just watching you live, whether you succeed or not. That means so much to somebody like me, you know? And so I think once you lead off a conversation with that, what you're coming from with everything else that you say, they understand the position it's coming from. And again, does everybody read social media? Yeah. If everybody wasn't a dickhead and you could actually talk to them about what they read, everybody would be way more cool. And it don't get no cooler than Eddie Kingston. So yeah.
I will say this to put you over a little bit. I've not listened to the interview yet. I've read the stuff because it was on our website. But to put over you doing the interview portion and releasing the audio, it was your Danielson interview. I believe that was on The Ringer. I believe that article appeared on The Ringer, and I read it and I pulled something from it. I was like, oh, this is really good because you're a fantastic writer. And then I listened to the interview. I was like, oh, this is different than the actual article. It's much better. The article is already good, but like the actual conversation is so much better. And like this goes for anybody out there listening to any stuff. I write a lot of articles. I transcribe a lot of articles. If you read that, I think they're fine. Read past the headline, please. I think they're fine. If you listen to the actual interviews of this, it's so much better. So yeah, listen to the actual conversation because that's going to tell the story, paint the picture better than words. As good as you are with words, as good as a lot of people are with words, if you listen to the actual conversation, that's the actual painting. You know what I mean?
That's what, for the anything, it was so important to me to not dress it up. Like I talked to Sean, I was like, listen, I'm going to give you the interview verbatim. I don't want to put any window dressing on this. I want his thoughts in the moment, exactly what he's saying. His story, he's told his story. You know what I mean? Like this is about what's going on in the moment. And the Danielson thing for me, like at my heart, I like to think I'm a teacher. And so that was more for the kids who do the interviews and then have to write them. It was like, now I want you to hear what I present, what he presents, and how I respond to it, you know, because listen, you will never have a profession where the most talented person in the profession is also the most open person. It does not happen. That's why we all sat down in the middle of a pandemic and watched Michael Jordan look at an iPad for 20 episodes. Because you don't get that from the most talented person to exist in the space. And Danielson is that and was just the most open. Danielson has a lisp. And I didn't know Danielson had a lisp. He didn't care. He was being himself on the phone, letting that thing hang up, if I'm allowed to say that. And it was great. It was fantastic. But yeah, like you said, I wish that, and the other thing is, the reason I got to release the Danielson interview is because Danielson has his own management outside of AEW, and his management is also super light-skinned like me, so we connect on that. Hey, small world, if you watch the BS High documentary about Bishop Sycamore, one of the producers is Bryan Danielson and Soraya's manager. Just, you know, because that's how the world works. But
I watched that this week.
It was great. He's great. But yeah, I wish that we got to release more interviews, but a lot of that is, and you guys have done this, hey, We got to cut out what they said at minute 20, minute 32, minute 48. Because listen, we've been talking about NXT. Listen, like you said, who told you that? Lola Vice. Listen, man, it really is college in that we are getting way pure emotion than you're going to get from an AEW or a WWE, because these kids really feel like they're fighting for spots, and not just fighting for spots. There's different ideologies in NXT. There are the kids who have only ever wrestled at the PC and the kids who ain't kids who've been doing it for 10 years. Sometimes there's a clash. And it's not coming to blows, but there is a difference of opinion. And so, yeah, you're not always getting the raw uncut. We have to edit that. But yeah, I was blessed enough to get to talk to a Bryan Danielson who literally does not care what he says, and nobody's going to stop him from saying it. So, yeah.
And that's why we do live interviews exclusively on this program.
There you go.
It's that way if anybody gets mad at us they can just say it afterwards.
Caden, I saw your $1.99. I know it costs $1.99 at 7-Eleven, you asshole. So please leave me alone.
I don't think he's that smart. Let's not give him that much credit.
Yeah, I think he was just going for the cheapest option.
Yeah.
I respect it. Shout out to Caden, man. Caden's down at University of Florida doing his thing, holding it down in the swamp, man. That's my guy.
Cam, we appreciate you joining us today. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
Absolutely. So Twitter, Instagram, Seahawks, CEEHAWK. Most recent work with Fightful, of course, an interview with Eddie Kingston after becoming the Ring of Honor World Champion. A really fun conversation about rivalries, about destination, about future plans, about finally getting in Claudio's ass. Really, really fun convo. So salute to him. Most recently with The Ringer, prior to All In, talk to my man MJF. It's funny, I kind of credit MJF with my first kind of leap into recognition in this space. Me and Max, have been talking since the pandemic. He was nice enough to show up to my panel at New York Comic-Con and make an ass out of himself. And that kind of put some eyes on me. We've been planning on doing this for a very, very long time. Love his progression, love his desire to be the greatest AEW world champion. Had a very fun conversation about self-doubt, about self-preservation, about the people he feels as rivals, the people who have helped him out. Something that we did not include in the interview, that this is probably the largest audience I'll have to kind of share this. We talked about a specific incident about comparing slavery to the Holocaust. And as somebody I consider a friend, it's something we talked about more than once, something we talked about really in depth. He really did get to explain where he was coming from, why he said what he said, his regrets about how he presented it. And, I can say this because, again, not only is that my man, that was originally intended to be part of what we wrote. It didn't necessarily fit the bill, but that kid's growing, man. He really is. And while he has not gone through things that I've experienced, people like me have experienced, he has his own things he's gone through. And so it was really important for me to get perspective on how he felt. And he trusted me enough to have that conversation. And so shout out to my guy, Max, man. The kid means a lot to me. I love his progression. I love that we finally got to put the words out to theringer.com, talking about Maxwell Jacob Friedman's pursuit to be the greatest AEW world champion of all time. Again, all time is weird when you've only been around for 4 or 5 years, but not my fight. And then you can catch me some Sundays, noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, with my man, Rob Wilkins. My point is talking about that week or that month in wrestling, and then whatever else comes to mind. So yeah, that's about everywhere I am these days.
Cam, thank you again for joining us. Enjoy Sunday watching the game that Taylor Swift invented, football, amid all of the wrestling and everything. And next time you're on, we'll talk about basketball some more, because a big trade this week.
It's freak time, apparently.
What a name. They're going to make so much money off of those shirts too. So much.
Really quick, Jeremy, I think we had this conversation. Have you seen Giannis play in person?
No, I've not.
I saw Giannis play in person and Jokic play in person the same season. And while they do very different things, it's two of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. Just it's difficult to explain, even though you see it on TV. But yeah, let's definitely have that conversation later for sure.
I saw Russell Westbrook play in person his MVP season, and that man was on a yes. He plays basketball the way Russell Westbrook plays basketball, but his MVP season will always stand out above a lot for me as a Thunder fan. But well, we can have that conversation at some point. Thank you, Cam. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Y'all take care.
You too,
man.
Later.
The great Cam Hawkins. He's fantastic. Always good talking to him.
I don't know if I said this the last time we were on with Cam before. Was it Great American Bash? I think it was before the Bash.
Yeah,
that was in Texas, right?
Yeah.
I love Cameron. I've been following Cameron's work, since I listened to him on PW Torch Audio. And I always thought to myself, I was just like, this is a guy I want to have a conversation with. This is a guy I want to listen to his thoughts on wrestling and his opinions on stuff. And the more I get to conversate with Cam in the space professionally, the more I am happy to call him a colleague and a friend. And I never thought that I would have the opportunity to sit and have these chats with him. So I'm appreciative of Cam. I really am. And the best part, we're gonna talk about. I want to talk about his conversation with Max, because that MJF, and it's all going to tie in because we're going to talk about the devil and the what's going on screen. But the stuff with MJF, I've been wanting to have a conversation with MJF about his Jewish roots, because that is something, as a Jewish person myself, that's something that is so near and dear to me. And to watch him almost unabashedly fly that flag in a very public setting, in an industry that isn't always very open-minded and supportive. I am so proud of that, and I want to pick his brain. So knowing that Cam has those conversations with Max, and knowing that those are ongoing conversations and it's a safe space for those two, again, it just furthers my respect for Cam, and really wants that conversation with Max to happen. So yeah, I just want to put that out there.
I'll say this about Cam, and this goes for a lot of people on Twitter. Cam is very active on social media, if people noticed. And sometimes sometimes, like everybody, he will say something that'll be taken the wrong way, or isn't meant to, whatever it might be. You tweet, you never know how people are going to take a tweet. Same with me. Most people understand I'm bullshitting. Other people are just like, oh, what are you doing here? People, when I did the bit with Ricky yesterday, like, hey, DM me this group, people are like, this is sad. I was like, do you not? Fine, whatever. Like, you don't get it. That's okay. Like, people are going to take stuff the wrong way. Sit down, have a conversation with these people, and you will learn that there is just more than just the tweets we put out on this stuff. And that's what I always feel when we talk to Cam, is like, I know kind of Twitter Cam, and what we present on Twitter is similar to how we are in real conversations, but it's only so many characters. You're trying to pop yourself and your friends, get jokes off and stuff. And like Cam said, you try to have a nuanced conversation on Twitter. It's going to go how it's going to go. You have a nuanced conversation in real life, you can actually make some headway on this stuff. So that's what I always appreciate when we have Cam on, is like, there's Twitter him where it's a lot of fun and we have jokes and everything. And then it comes on here and you really like dive deep into things and you learn more hopefully about him and his mind when it comes to wrestling. So I think Cam's very smart when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, it's really upsetting how good he is at this sometimes. He's such a clown, and then you realize that the clown has a lot of very poignant thoughts and good words. Don't do that. Actually, Ryan Sullivan was saying, Jeremy, please do 2 thumbs up and then 2 thumbs down.
All right, it's just like Batista. Okay. Can I not see my thumbs?
Oh. Okay.
I just put a like on this video. Look at that.
There you go.
It
That's like the video.
Okay.
And then you got to do thumbs down.
All right. Thumbs up, like Batista. Thumbs down.
This isn't working now. I think you got to space them out between your head.
Well, I mean,
maybe not. The thumbs up worked.
The thumbs up works. Maybe if the thumbs up worked, I don't know what thumbs down. I mean, maybe we'll never know. Oh no!
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm Hangman Page. It's raining on me.
What happens if you do the heart thing? Do this.
Okay.
Try doing the make a
I
heart.
don't know if that'll do anything.
There it is. I guessed that one.
It did rain. We got it. We got it, Ryan. Again, we're in Seattle this weekend for AEW. AEW WrestleDream. It's not working fully well.
Watching Peter Parker finding his. It's a max setting. So
rain, bitch.
Oh god, that's funny. I love that
normal thumbs here.
The 2 and the 8 though. That's the one that I'm like most curious about. I wonder if
why is that like balloons?
Yeah, there's got to be a reason for it. I'm sure it's in the macOS settings. But
bang bang gang, baby.
Yeah, I don't think that would bring up anything because
I needed to do like custom ones. Could you imagine if I could do like custom shit on here? Oh, I'd go crazy with that. So some custom ones. I'd like flip off the camera and then it's a photo. It's the Cody Rhodes John Moxley photo that pops up or something. It's such an iconic photo. Not really, but I think it's fantastic. I'd go crazy with some of this stuff.
If there was a way to program a macro where if you do this, it does like the zoom in, like the Cody Rhodes style.
Oh, shit.
Up your ear, and all of a sudden the camera just zooms in on you.
This is all I'm gonna spend the rest of my day on is to see if I can do like custom like animations like this and see what the hell happens.
Oh, that's fine. Listen, there's no wrestling going on this weekend, so you got plenty of time.
Oh, they don't allow custom ones? Oh, that's lame. Boo.
Ruined everything. Our days were ruined. I don't want to talk anymore. Anyway, it was a nice show we had. Jeremy, plug your stuff. Let's go home.
Good.
Let's talk let's talk some more MJF, or maybe not. Maybe not. We had Dynamite go off the air with Jay White getting beat down. We can talk about the segment that preceded it or that led to it. But there's a new devil in town, or at least someone parading around as the devil, and people are getting their ideas out there, their concepts. They're pitching everything to Tony. They're tagging Tony and being like, "Is it this guy? Is it that guy? Could it be this? Is it this because you bought New Japan? What's going on?" Is Hiroshi Tanahashi under the mask, Jeremy Lambert?
No, that was a thin person under the mask. Hiroshi Tanahashi, you'd see those abs, baby. You would see those abs in that chest. Like those things can't be hidden. All black ain't hiding those, man.
It was the posture. If he had the posture, it would be him. Then the flow, the hair would be coming out.
All right, I've seen MDB bring this up. It's got to be a bit at this point with MJF because it is very noticeable. His hands, I tweeted about like his hands tan like months ago, because it was always a different color than the rest of him. I feel like it's a bit at this point, and I respect it if it is.
Yeah, no, I've seen other people comment on it as well, including one Allison Catch. She has made reference to the levels of tan involved in MJF's story. But yeah, so this all starts at Grand Slam. There was the incident during the main event where Adam Cole comes down the ramp, jumps, and his ankle looks all out of sorts. He's kind of gingerly running on it and trying to be a part of it. And then we're wondering what the hell's going to happen because there's a tag team match at WrestleDream for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. It was supposed to be Better Than You Bebe against the Kingdom. Instead, they come out, does Better Than You Bebe on Dynamite. And Adam Cole's like, yeah, busted up my ankle real bad. Got to get surgery. See you later. Toodles. Love you. Bye. And then, of course, we have the Kingdom come out, and they're like, Adam, you gotta cut. This was weird, by the way. Just the whole idea that Adam Cole like went off into that sweet hospital good night with the Kingdom and left MJF on his own. That was weird to me. And then we have Jay White come out solo, leaves the Bang Bang Gang at home, tells them, don't. We're gonna do this one-on-one. They do a little promo off. It's a 20-minute segment, and then at the end of the night, we see the people beat down, all in black. Retribution's back, baby. They take out Jay White, the heel, by the way, which was it's a whole other story, a whole other can of worms. And then we see the Devil's back, and we don't know who the Devil is, and speculation has run rampant. Jeremy, where was Alex Coughlin? Where were the Bullet Club War Dogs? Where's David Finlay?
I assume they're in Japan. I don't know if they've been booked recently, actually. Look, it's a good whodunit. It's a good mystery. And I think like I've seen a lot of the stuff, the theories. I've seen a lot of the storytelling that they're doing with MJF and Adam Cole. It's a really good story. And I don't know how they're going to tie it all together. I said this before, All In is like they got options here. And whatever option they're going to go with is probably going to be a good option because both of these guys are good and they're telling a good story. But it's where you go after you choose your own adventure here that is going to not define the story, but kind of set up the future of AEW. And now we're still looking at that because the option they chose was, hey, let's continue and let's continue to let this play out. I've seen people say it might be a work type thing. Sean reported that if it's a work, they're doing a hell of a job working everybody here. Cole's on crutches. Britt posted the photos, but only one of the photos had Adam's face in it. So, and that was just him getting wrapped up. You could just wrap him up to wrap him up type of thing. Then to cancel the match with Chris Danger from DPW. I would imagine, if they're in on it, DPW would probably have liked to follow through on that. I don't think that, they set up the ROH tag team title match for WrestleDream, and you would think that like, oh, well, you're advertised, Adam Cole's advertised, you want to see Adam Cole. Oh, Adam Cole's not being pulled. I don't think like too many fans are going to be upset that it's like, oh, wait, you've told us Adam Cole was going to be wrestling and now Adam Cole is not wrestling. Like, how dare you? I want a refund. Like that match was kind of throwaway-ish on the card in terms of like what you want to see. Is it cool to see Adam Cole, MJF wrestle? Sure. But it's like, I don't think too many people are buying tickets to see the Righteous against MJF and Adam Cole. So I can understand, but Tony doesn't typically like to do that, right? If he advertises something, there's typically a follow through on that. That's why I'm leaning more towards he's hurt, but I think they can get something good out of this, and this whole thing with the devil might be something good. The biggest theory is, Adam Cole is the devil because there were 4 guys attacking and then the devil comes into screen. So people are surmising Strong, O'Reilly, who may or may not be healthy. I don't think he is. And then the Kingdom. And let's be very clear about this as well. The people attacking does not have to be the reveal people. You will have your people who are very online, who are like, this is not that body. This is not this person. This is not that person. But if you're thinking you're stretching this out for a couple of months, it doesn't have to align in that same way. It's just the visual of who is there during this, not the visual of the actual body of the people.
Yeah, I saw a few people online trying to superimpose Adam Cole over the body of whoever was playing the devil, and that was a fun one. Hello, Eggman.
Well, Sean, what's that?
Didn't even have time to take it out of my meal prep container, but
oh no.
Nonetheless.
Here I am just thinking you're lazy and just putting things in containers so you don't have to wash them so well. You're a busy man.
I'm a busy man. I've got oatmeal too.
Oh, that's fair.
Nice.
Jeremy, should we show Sean your new party trick?
Okay. Which one?
Whichever one you want.
Going with the ping pong balls? Oh. So listen. You think you can fool me. You think you can do well. You're making all this money. You bought yourself a new iPhone. I know the gimmick.
No, I don't have a new iPhone. I've had this one for like
wait.
5 years now.
This isn't from an iPhone. Wait a second.
No.
Destiny FOMO lied to me.
No, this isn't from an iPhone at
She got
all.
little balloons and hearts and gimmicks on her FaceTime. And wow. Wow.
So this is the first 20 minutes of our show this morning.
So what is it? An app or something?
No. Look, Sean. Oh,
you missed it.
I'll do it again.
I see it.
There it is. Look at that.
Are you now a Chiefs fan?
Yes, the inventor of football, Taylor Swift. I am. Love the Chiefs. Always been a big Chiefs supporter since Sunday when football was invented by Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce, always loved him. Yeah.
I thank her for that.
Yeah. She put football on Thursday night because we had nothing else to do.
I gotta say this. Absolute appointment viewing is watching Swifties roast Zach Wilson this week. I will be seated for that, as they say. I will be ready. I will be prepared. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I also had another good football tweet, Jeremy. I said if the Bears and the Broncos played on Monday, that WWE Raw would hit 300 million viewers.
Now, people are going to tune into that Bears and Broncos game just for the disaster of it. People love a good train wreck.
Race to the bottom.
Yeah. There's 2 0-3 games this week. My team's involved in one of them. So
hoping for a tie.
Be great. Be great, honestly. Sean, who was under the mask?
It was me.
Okay.
And then I took it off and everybody cheered after I hit DDT on Shaza.
Now, this person didn't do an Impaler DDT, so I don't think it was you.
No, they certainly ain't going to do one as good as me.
Fair.
That much I'll say.
What if it was Gangrel under the mask?
Gangrel could. Gangrel liked mine.
I know. That's why we got to get him under the mask. Just to prove you wrong in this case.
That's why when people are like, man, shitty DDT, I'm like, listen, you can say the crowd didn't make noise. You can't say the DDT was bad. I'm sorry. You can't go that route. It doesn't work. Gangrel already told me it was good. I had someone say, I would more listen to Jake the Snake Roberts than Gangrel. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. He actually wasn't there at Black Label Pro. And also, he's never done an elevated DDT in his life.
Do we have an Edge update, Sean?
Not for free.
There you go. All right.
Fightful.com. Right now, you can get a year of Fightful Select for $51 a year. That is almost 2 months off. It wouldn't let us round up that percentage to make it 2 months off. But hey, that deal will be active through Monday. But you can do annual subscriptions of FightfulSelect.com now. We highly encourage you to do so. It would mean an awful lot to us.
How is this deal in comparison to Absolute Scoops?
Well, I mean, he works there, so. But then again, there have been a lot of times when I've told people in the company what they're doing in creative, so. Or at least what I heard was planned for them, so.
I don't know if that's the name he's going with, but I feel like I just hit on something with that for him.
One time a women's WWE wrestler messaged me and it said, dude, am I listed as a face or a heel? I still don't know the answer to that question based on their subsequent creative. So
now I want to know who it is.
I'll tell you in the chat.
I was going to say, I have a theory as to who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
There you go.
Oh, okay. It's not who I expected.
I think I actually knew this story. I think I actually knew this one. I forget all of this stuff. I forget all this stuff that you tell me.
You can't jump ship, Jeremy. You know too many secrets.
That's true. That's true. I told Joel this off air. I don't think I'm going to get a call back, honestly.
I think you will.
Yeah.
I think you will. Sorry to put your shit out there, but
I mean, look, I think anybody who knows that I'm not going anywhere. So like whatever. If people want to court me on this stuff, it's not MLW. If people want to court me on this, then go for it. But like you're gonna have to make a really good offer. You're gonna make a really good offer.
That's what I would say. It'd have to be something to justify them inevitably laying everybody off in 3 months like they have.
Yeah, exactly.
A peculiar business plan.
It is.
Peculiar, very much. They moved a bunch of people over to other websites.
Yeah, we'll see. I've not heard back though. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll hear what you have to say, and then I've not heard back. So we'll see.
Ain't nobody calling me.
Well, there's a reason for that, Joel.
Yeah.
Is y'all holding me back?
No.
Wow.
No one ever holds you back, Joel.
That's
All we
fair.
do
I
is
mean,
give opportunities around here.
True.
You gotta make the
listen,
most of them.
all I'm saying is Sean has to make his way up to Toronto if he wants a shot at this Fightful championship of mine. Okay.
Listen, Jimmy has already exposed the booking secret behind this. He doesn't want me to win the championship. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I'm going to need the people to hijack in the weeds. I'm going to need occupy weeds. That's what I'm
Occupy
going to
weeds.
need. And I need y'all to do this, all that stuff. Mark Henry's going to pat me on the back during a promo.
Raise your hand.
Raise my
Yeah.
hand. Be like, here you go. Stop cheering for him.
Listen, all I'm saying is I will be your Fightful champion for 1,000 days on Tuesday, December 12th, 2023.
How many times
That's
have you defended it?
Enough times to build.
With your fucking fabulous moolah ass run you got going on.
Doesn't matter. Record books still show the reality of things. 1,000 days approaching.
Damn, pardon my language, guys.
Oh, I cursed very early in this show, as I tend to do nowadays.
Try not
It's
to
very
say the F
sad.
word on the
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I try.
Golden dollar signs for all.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A lot of people are occupying weed, Sean.
Yeah, I need to. Need to get my order from the Southern girl with a teacup Yorkie that delivers me weed.
Okay.
One time I was out at the gym and I told my wife, hey, I'm going to go get some weed. She's like, be careful. I know she's dangerous.
Anybody with a Yorkie dog, I feel like they're hiding something with what they're actually doing. That's a cover. That's a cover.
Well,
Putting
have a
Yorkies
nice
on
day,
blast.
fellas.
Bye, Sean.
Bye-bye. Coward.
Is he a coward? You're the one who won't defend the title.
He's the one who won't make his way up to Toronto to take on the defense.
He was in Toronto at some point, wasn't he?
Nah,
I
he hasn't been in
thought-
Toronto in over a year.
Okay, that's right. He didn't go to Forbidden Door this year, so I
He
guess that
did
makes
not.
sense.
That's how Kate and I wound up going. See
Sean
how,
Ross
much,
didn't want to work Sundays.
see how much good that did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, in fairness, it's not like AEW does a press junket or any formal.
Nah, they
interview.
should.
They should. And you know what? I think, they did it with All In because it was a huge event and it was going on. First time they were in the UK and so on and so forth. I do hope that they start making that, at least for the tentpole events that they have. I hope that they do that. Forbidden Door, maybe it All Outs, do it for Full Gear, do it for Revolution. That's fine. Make it for the big events that they do.
They did it for All In, and then they put Orange Cassidy. And shout out to Orange Cassidy. He was actually giving answers. He could have very easily done gimmick Orange Cassidy, just like, yeah, sure, whatever. But he was giving some good depth answers. He went gimmick a little bit, but that's the specialness, the attraction of Orange Cassidy when it comes to that. But like Nigel, just commentator, fine. Paul White, okay. Who else? A Go-Go who ended up being on the show, but like he ain't done anything in forever and still isn't doing anything. Like the people they gave for that junket, probably not the people, a lot of people were hoping to hear from.
For the All In one or for afterwards, for later on?
No. The media scrum, fine. They always have people on the show. I'm talking about the All In like press junket that they did.
The one that was like Tall Paul and
Joel, do you not listen to what I'm saying?
No, I was reading something else in that moment.
Are you not paying attention at all? No. How about you watch the product? How about you listen to what I say for once? I keep telling you.
The problem was that particular junket, we sent Tempest, and I was like, I don't want to edit Tempest video because you'll see how that looked. Shout out Tempest, good questions, but like video.
Sheeta was on that as well, everywhere. which was good. But the problem with that was like Sheeta had literally done like 100 interviews leading up to. She did a lot of media for All In. Shout out to her for doing so much media on that. Yeah, she did a bunch of interviews. So it's like you can only ask her so much stuff that she ain't answered in the 100 interviews she's answered before the Saturday when the show is. So yeah, if they're gonna do these press junkets, which I think they should, you got to give like talent that is relevant and featured.
Yeah, I agree. And it's, again, the press conferences after the event, they're fine and dandy, but honestly, I'd rather just do a press junket before the event and do just the Tony sit down, just Tony for an hour after the press conference. If you want to bring in some talent, sure, bring in champions or big winners, but yeah, try to keep it light. Try not to keep it a 2.5 hour, post show.
Well, I mean, that's the real issue. It's not the talent that's there or anything. It's that they're just long. Like
No, I get that.
WWE does press conferences. They bring in talent, but everybody basically gets like 3 questions. There's like 3 or 4 questions per, and it's like, all right, we're done. Tony's sitting there answering 500 questions, which, good on him for sitting there and taking all these questions and stuff. Talent's usually about 5 or so, and then they get him out of there. But yeah, Tony's gonna sit there and answer like every single question. It's a long event. You're just mad you don't get any water.
I am mad I don't get any water, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. And it really was that, it was with WWE, by the way, there is a director, there is someone like running the post-show press conference. I'm not saying there isn't in AEW, but it's more like there are times to hit, and you don't have Vince or Triple H being like, no, I want to stay here until I get everyone's questions. And it's admirable that Tony wants to converse with everyone and answer all the questions and do the thing he does. But I would rather, if that's the case, he do it solo after the event, and then talent going into the event, you have them on a separate press junket, kind of like, again, like what happened with All In, and what WWE tends to do before these big events as well. So that's the way I would do it. I don't know if that's ever part of AEW's plans, but it would be nice in the future to see it go that way.
Their plan should be to not have a long press conference this Sunday after the event, because it is my anniversary the next day, and I do not want to be sleeping all day because Tony Khan decided to talk until 3 a.m.
It's also our main Fightful channel day for this show the next day.
I'm not going to be there.
No, should I make a call already?
I'll be there. I'll be tired.
We'll all survive, I promise. We'll do anniversary balloons for you.
Well, WWE Redmond Survivor saying the WWE ones don't reveal anything interesting, though, do they? They do. Like, it depends on who's asking questions and stuff, but you get answers from them. Again, I cover all of these. I write articles from them. As much as I don't like writing so many articles on this, like, I also want to write articles because I do want them to be worthwhile. So look, that Shawn Michaels media call, I think we got like 6 from the Tony media call earlier this week. We got 6 or 7 from as well. Like, yeah, the Heyman's 3 innings quote, like I get articles out of it. I definitely get articles out of it. Other websites, I don't know how they do business, but you get some good quotes. Like, it again depends on who's asking questions, though. If you're just going to lob up there, hey, storyline questions, then those are easily dismissive and stuff. If you're going to ask legit questions looking for legit answers, then you're going to get legit answers on stuff. Brandon Thurston's asking, hey, Paul, heard about this sale? And look, he might give a no, that's above my pay grade type of thing, but it's still an answer. It's still an important person being asked an important question that is a worthwhile comment. So
yeah, I think it's about expectation setting. This isn't a room where you're going to get, Sean's level of reporting or something you would see, like that kind of backstage reporting. You're not going to get that out of these press conferences. What you might get is clarification. So I can speak for myself, and I've talked about this before. When I did the Elimination Chamber weekend, there was the story about Sami Zayn and the SmackDown promo where the crowd basically, drowned him out for the entirety of it. And then he didn't cut the promo that was scripted for him. At least that's what we were told. And then we ran the story on Select that's what happened. And then when I was given the opportunity to ask Sami a question after the event, I basically said, hey, I heard on SmackDown you had a lot more to say than what you said. What did you want to say? And he effectively confirmed, like, he had a much longer promo that he was supposed to. He basically confirmed our story, which is something that, for me personally, that was very justifying. It was very what's the word I'm thinking of? I've lost my words for now, but it was good to see, like, the story for me, having a finish after starting it on Friday night. You know, seeing that there was something that was weird on Friday night at SmackDown, and then being able to ask the talent, hey, what was this? You know, I didn't have to say we reported it. I just had to say, you know, I heard you had more to say. What did you want to say? And so for me, that was helpful.
Louis says Hickenbottom will spill all the tea if you ask nicely.
True.
His media calls are great. He's very good with the media. He sounds so happy and joyous on these things. He's got a smile. I ain't seen Shawn Michaels smile this much since, I guess, the 90s. Even then, he's still a little downtrodden because he's trying to carry the company and everything. This man is in such a good mood with this. He's in that nice position of like, people are paying attention to NXT. They're praising NXT right now, which always, I'm sure, feels good. But like, he ain't too high where he's receiving like a bunch of criticism or even cares probably about the criticism. It ain't like panic mode if like ratings drop or anything like that. Of like, oh no, we're going to lose out on this. We're going to lose out on that. He can say these things. He's just flying under the radar, being Shawn Michaels. Oh, bless that man. Now where's Hausman asked the CM Punk question. And Shawn is just like, yeah, sure, I'd love to have him. I don't think he's gonna be here, but like, I don't think they'll let me do this. But sure, I'll take him. Why not? It's like, I'll let you know if I get in trouble with that answer.
So this
Shawn
is a good point.
Great.
This is a good point, by the way, from Major Delaney Live. NFL and NBA have post press conferences for a reason, to capture the emotional answer, and that's kind of the challenge for us in the room. It's to get those emotional answers. We were very lucky that Sami Zayn in February at Elimination Chamber was openly admitting that he was very emotional, and he's like, you're probably going to get some shit out of me. And we were like, oh, are we? And a lot of people ask questions about that. So yeah, it really is about getting those raw and honest opinions after a match, because you're feeling a certain way. You know, it's the outcome is predetermined, but the putting on the match and everything that happened in the ring, that's real to them, because that was a job they did, and either they really like the job and what they put on, or they're upset about whatever. Just there's a whole mindset that we're not privy to, because guess what? It's their brain, not ours.
All right, Joel, let's circle back to our MJF discussion. Do you have any thoughts on where this is going?
You know, there's the Occam's razor that it should, well, no, the simplest the simplest explanation is often the right one.
The only Razor I know is the bad guy, Razor Ramon.
Thank you. And I may have used the wrong. Anyway, this is where I'm at today on 4 hours of sleep. The idea that it is the Kingdom and Roddy, and if not Adam Cole, Bay, if he is going under the knife and all that's true, and everything that we reported on Fightful Select is as it is, then maybe it's Britt. I don't hate the idea of Britt Baker playing the role effectively for Adam for now, because I need to see more women in effective crossover stories in AEW. I need that personally, and I think that would be effective because Britt's been around a very long time, and she is a good talker. You know,
they tried that, and
I'm correct about Occam's razor, thank God. Yeah, there's that. There's another school of thought that's if this is a WrestleDream show, and you and I talked about the New Japan Strong, you know, did Tony maybe get strong and now it's going to integrate with Ring of Honor? Was it the Bullet Club War Dogs going after Jay White on behalf of MJF? And MJF is still the devil, but this time the devil is David Finlay, and that it was Bullet Club War Dogs that took out Jay White. Is that what it could be? Maybe. I don't know if the effect would be as large because people don't know these guys as much. It's more just the idea that it's a crossover event. And yeah, those are my two major ones. Sometimes it's just the simplest explanation is fine. Where's Stokely Hathaway? We can go back to the firm, even though the firm's basically been broken up. I'm sure Matt Hardy would love to be doing something that's not losing every match with his brother on TV these weeks, but instead he could be a focal point with him and his brother, and maybe Zay in the meantime while we're waiting for Private Party as a whole to get back together. So maybe that's it. It could. I don't think it's that, but we could maybe have Stokely Pack as a member of the firm. What do you think?
I don't know about the Stokely stuff,
Yeah.
and the firm type thing. I guess it makes sense to kind of bring that back around, but big bills with Ricky now. The Guns are with Bullet Club, so what are they doing? They're jumping Jay White out now on the group. Is the new firm. Moriarty is with I guess Shane Taylor promote. Everybody's moved on from that. I don't know why you would, unless it is like a new type of firm, but then you're not really, then it's basically just Stokely. Stokely's the tie-in there. You're not actually doing anything with the firm pieces. So no, I don't think that works.
Unless Stokely takes Ricky Starks, Big Bill, who was originally in the firm, they start putting together something. I don't know, because Ricky's now kind of spinning his wheels. He's doing the Yuta thing.
I don't think Ricky's spinning his wheels at all.
Well, I mean, in terms of like this match, I don't know. The match with Yuta is like an invitation to have a spot on the card and have a showcase win. But is it going to lead to anything furthering with the Blackpool Combat Club? Is he going to go after? He can't go after Eddie. Eddie's not in Blackpool Combat Club. But like, where does it go? How does this build for Ricky Starks?
Well, one, watch the product and maybe we will see.
Nah.
Two, I think there is a build here. And maybe I'm being optimistic. I don't know. But I think there is a build in that, yeah, Ricky lost to Danielson. He wanted to show him respect. He wanted to shake his hand. Yuta even was like, I realize what you're trying to do. I'm sorry. And Ricky's like, get the fuck out of my face. You suck, dweeb. And then they're going to have the match. I assume Ricky is going to win. You can do Ricky against Claudio. You can do Ricky against Moxley. And I think, people in the chat are saying it. I think that's where they were kind of headed with this, is Ricky and Moxley. And now Moxley, of course, doesn't have the title, so it changes a little bit. But I think you can maybe even have Ricky beat Phoenix at some point and take the title, and then Moxley's coming back around to it. But yeah, I don't think he's spinning his wheels at all. I don't want him in this group with like Stokely. I like Ricky on his own. Big Bill is a heater. Cool. That's fine. But him like an actual part of a group, I don't think he needs that.
That's fair. And again, I'm going by what I'm seeing. And just to me, the match with Yuta is more that it's happening on a pay-per-view. I also understand that Mox is out. That is, there's a legitimate injury there, so that changed things. But I don't know. It's the Yuta match that's just kind of like, we're just doing this to get you on the card, get you a nice win, and we move on.
Okay, but this is not spinning your wheels though, and people need to understand this term, because it is part of the story that is ongoing with Blackpool Combat Club. Spinning your wheels is Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio when we saw that 3 months ago, and then Cody's done with Brock, and it's like, okay, well, what's next for Cody? Let's just go back to Dominic here. There is a reason, there is a purpose for the Yuta match, and it has to tie in with what we saw on Collision. You don't have to like the match. You can be like, oh, this is an easy win for Ricky just to get him on the card. Cool, great. Wish they'd do some of this more often with stories they're telling to just get them on the card and give them wins, because they don't do that enough. Look what they're doing in the women's division. There's one women's match on here. Hey, maybe you do throw Toni Storm on the card here and get her a match against Ruby, whatever it might be. But that's spinning your wheels when you're actually not going anywhere or doing anything. There's something going on with Ricky.
Or is there?
Stop it.
What happens if it's going to be Ricky versus Phoenix next? I mean, then Ricky wins the international championship and Moxley comes back. I know what I'm doing here, Jeremy Lambert. I'm not
clearly.
I'm very smart to this business. Anyway. Oh God, the mask. So who's under the mask, Jeremy? Who is it?
Right now, again, I don't think it's going to lead to anything. I like the Adam Cole, like, just theory that it is Adam Cole. That and I've seen the theory of like, okay, well, why would he attack Jay White? Well, he attacks Jay White because Jay White is essentially next in line for the title. Jay White has made himself next in line for the AEW championship. Adam Cole wants to be the guy who beats MJF. He wants to be the guy who takes out MJF. And I've seen like the pieces of stuff. Okay, well, Cole kind of talked MJF into doing a handicap match this weekend to defend the titles. And I don't think, by the way, that MJF is losing these titles to the Kingdom or to the Righteous this weekend. I think MJF finds a way to win. Maybe interference backfires, and so the MJF wins. It beats the Righteous. Maybe that's one possibility. But I think Adam Cole wants to be the one to take the title. And MJF, we keep waiting for him to pull the trigger. And, we could have thrown him over the boat and everything. But Cole is very hip to all of this. And I think that strikes MJF a certain way of like, he sees it coming. Like he feels I'm going to do this. I got to prove him wrong that I'm not going to do this. I got to prove that I have changed on this. And like a lot of people have said, and Adam Cole is the one that's been playing MJF with this the entire time. I think this has been a very fascinating story if you look at all of the pieces to it. I don't think I'm not going to say like it's too layered, too nuanced and stuff for wrestling fans. I think it gets lost in the busyness of Dynamite sometimes of how good this story actually is, because there's always so much happening on Dynamite. You don't always take example these segments with Adam Cole. Adam Cole's like, I got to go off. I got to get surgery. He leaves up the ramp. Here's the Kingdom and everything right up there with him. Hey, what's going on? 3 seconds later, here comes Jay White. And Jay White and MJF have this very long, very good promo segment. And it's like, oh, I just kind of forgot about the Adam Cole stuff and all of that meant. I don't think that it's breathed enough with the Switchblade. I don't think it's breathed enough to where people realize how good this story actually is. If you're online and you're piecing all together and you see all the comments, maybe you do. But I think more of the just casual viewing audience, because they're out there, I don't think they realize maybe just how good and how layered this story actually is.
I fully agree with you, by the way. And there is a lot that, for better or worse, it does require some reflection and some research just to kind of like remind yourself of what's going on. People have pointed out, Adam Cole in the sit down with MJF after the match at All In.
Yeah, All In.
Yeah, at All In, where the devil mask was behind Adam Cole instead of behind MJF, where it would typically be like, it was this little, again, the Easter egg stuff, and Redmond just pointed it out in the chat. There are those little things that are worth mentioning and worth bringing up, and maybe they mean something, maybe they don't, but there is good storytelling going on in the story. What's frustrating, like you said, is that Dynamite and just AEW sometimes as a whole does this breakneck pace of storytelling. Very good example is what you mentioned. And on top of that, when the cross-pollination of stories happen, but they happen in the weirdest of ways. You had a great contract signing segment between Swerve and Hangman. And it ends with Hangman not literally, but stabbing Swerve's hand with the pen. And Swerve's like, my hand. He's freaking out. And then they're like, we got to go to the back, because it's like that Nitro ending where people are in the back beating up other people. We're out of time. And it's just, I didn't have time to think about Swerve and Hangman, because now I had to think about who's the devil. And that is, it's a good problem to have, and it's a bad problem to have simultaneously, because it gets your audience thinking and it gets them excited. But unfortunately, some audience is going to spend more time on the recency bias, which is who is the devil, than they are on the other storyline that had a very, very fun beat, which is that contract signing. And now it's up to, again, the viewer, whoever, to go back and like refocus their brain and do some of the research to figure out where each story is, because Hangman and Swerve is not at all tied in to MJF and Adam Cole and the Kingdom and now Jay White and everything. So things like that kind of get frustrating, and when they get lost in the shuffle, it makes AEW a little less fun to talk about, because you do drop things. And of course, now everyone's talking about what's going on with Edge. Is Edge going to show up in AEW? Is that going to be part of the Christian storyline?
Yeah, I mean, that is certainly a thing. AEW is just very busy. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a bad thing, because you are right. Like Hangman and Swerve, that was a great contract signing. I thought Swerve was fantastic on the mic. I thought Hangman was very good. I thought Swerve kind of won that round. But I thought it was a very good contract signing. We get the fire out of Hangman. We get the nice little pull apart and the hand stabbing. But yeah, then it was like a post-credit scene of like, hey, here is the beatdown of Jay White. But the overall point of it is that was the last shot. you kind of forget about Hangman and Swerve. Now everybody's just talking about this. You forget about this other thing that you probably should be talking about. That was the closing segment. Edge is 100%, on fans. I saw somebody in the chat say that, like, they ain't teased Edge at all. We're just kind of building this up.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about Edge. Some people are building this up, but yeah, that's just a fan thing that they're going to continue to tease this. Like, they're going to continue to hope, oh, is Mercedes going to show up this weekend? Which at least that's died down a little bit.
No,
I do want to.
Mariah May.
What's up?
Because now it's Mariah May.
Yeah.
Who just finished up potentially with Stardom.
I do want to bring up this from Wysellable, who says, I think it really depends on Collision. They have to follow it up in an interesting way. I 100% agree with you, because in a lot of times, and we know why, Collision and Dynamite existed in their own world. There's been a better job of blending the two worlds since CM Punk has been gone. But this is certainly an example, and I'm going to point an example where I think they missed this past week. This is an example where, like, you close Dynamite with this. Jay White has been a Collision guy. Bullet Club Gold has been a Collision act. If they do not appear on Collision in some way and address this, and I'm okay. By the way, I'm okay if this isn't the overarching theme of Collision, because I do think, and this is another too much happening on the show, the Jay White and the MJF segment kind of stole the show on Wednesday, right? What do they do? Are they wrestling this Sunday? No, they are not. This was not a go-home promo for their big match on Sunday. You're trying to sell pay-per-views. This felt like the biggest thing on the show. The Jay White attack is what closed the show. Jay White ain't even on this pay-per-view on Sunday. So if they got to mention it on Collision, though. They got to say something about it, whether it's the Guns addressing it, Juice addressing it, Jay addressing it. If they got MJF there to address it, great. I don't need it to be this big segment. I'm fine if you want to save that for Dynamite, because you do have a pay-per-view to sell on Sunday, but you do have to mention it on Collision. And this is where I think they missed on Dynamite, is the Zack Sabre Jr. stuff. People don't know who he is. And I'm not saying that to be like, well, of course they do. I got people, and I've said this before, I have friends who just watch AEW. They just wrestling. But they just watch. They're not online. They should read Fightful, but like, they're not online. They just watch television. It's like, hey, you excited for Bryan Danielson against Zack Sabre Jr.? They're like, it's a Danielson match. I really like him. What about, never heard of him, never seen him. They have not presented him in any type of way. I understand Danielson's out there, best technical wrestler, but then Danielson's doing a feud with Ricky Starks. Dynamite, your most watched show, nothing with Zack Sabre Jr. We got to get video packagers or something to just tell me who this guy is, what this guy is all about. And I think that was a miss on Wednesday. And now he's going to be on commentary for Saturday, which great. He'll call people dickheads and slags and all this stuff and bollocks and all this great British humor that makes him sound like an asshole. But is that going to be enough? With all of this, is that going to be enough to sell this match that, yes, the hardcore fans are excited for? But if you were just a week-to-week AEW viewer, and they exist, everybody, I promise you they exist, are you tuning in and are you excited for this match? I thought they could have done a better job of that on Dynamite.
So first of all, I think people are going to be like, oh, Zack Sabre Jr., who's this guy? And then they'll be shown a photo of him and they'll be like, why is he holding a 20 times retirement watch grandpa looking belt on his shoulder? That old ass belt. No, but I largely agree with you. We also know that AEW tends to be booked for the terminally online, which is, people take that in a bad way, but in this case it's a lot of online people. Okay, there's just a lot of online people, and as a result, people are going to be they're going to be very excited for Zack Sabre Jr. Is this the main event? That's one question I have.
Yes,
it is the main event, because it's Danielson and it's Seattle. And
Danielson's basically said it's the main event, and he's basically said, I don't want it to be the main event. I want to go to bed. Bless that man.
He should go on first. This, and then again, this is another thing, is that it was the first match announced, so it would make sense that it would be the main event. Right, because they didn't.
Seattle. Yeah. They don't have a world title match or anything on the show. What's main eventing over? Swerve and Hangman's about the only other option.
or the 2 out of 3 falls with Darby, because Darby's Seattle. They've done TNT title wins for Darby in Seattle. Like, he even pointed it out, right? And because it's such a big match, and it's the next, well, it's not the next biggest title, but it's a big title. There's nothing else unless MJF suddenly, if MJF and the Kingdom main event this card, then they are doing something big with whatever happened to the end of Dynamite. And I do hope that they address that on Collision. I do hope that they at least have, like, Jay's not here because this happened, and we're gonna find those people and beat them up. Whatever it is, just some sort of promo, get it out of the way. And I will say this is I'm not here to rip on Excalibur about like the going over 20 billion things in the last segment of a Dynamite and putting over all the matches. I listened to a lot of audio. Did I say the Righteous? Yeah, the Ring of Honor tag titles. Who did I say? The Kingdom? Doesn't matter. Was talking. Doesn't matter. You had the build for what's going on Collision, what's going on Rampage, what's going on. It's basically everything coming up over the next few days. I listened to a lot of like post show talk from different outlets, and one happens to be a call-in show, and someone was like, I was planning to go to Collision. It's in Seattle. I don't know what's on the card. I watched Dynamite tonight, and like, there's no Danielson. And I wanted to be like, yes, there is. There's an 8-man. And they announced CSJ's like, and nobody, but that's the thing. Everyone who was on this post show said nothing about it. Like, they didn't realize that this 8-man tag was happening. And that's kind of a detriment to having so much to go on and talk about in the show. You get excited, but like, it's very quick and then it's gone. So it's just a little snippet of like the sometimes too much is happening in a Dynamite, and people make fun of the whole like, you're gonna need oxygen after all those plugs, and Excalibur's like, no, I'm good. It's cute, but like, it does kind of mess with your promoting of the upcoming shows. So yeah, that's kind of my take on that.
We got some super chats, which we'll get to here in a second. I do want to, before we get into the super chats, says, do you think it would have helped if we played Zach's promos on New Japan on Dynamite? Oh yeah, we just called him Dragon Bullocks, get this man in an orb before he injures himself. Zach's great. I think he's gonna be very good on commentary, by the way, and hopefully he'll sell some pay-per-views and stuff. But they should have played some matches, and they should have had Danielson just talk about how good he is. Play like over clips of Zach just stretching people. People mentioning Kenny and Vikingo. No one knew who Vikingo was, and then he popped the rating. That's free TV. That's free TV. You're asking people to pay $50 to main event a guy who the only time you've seen him on AEW TV, he's lost. Because I think the only time is Forbidden Door, right? Did he wrestle this year at Forbidden Door? My memory sucks.
I was there. I think I remember him showing up somewhere because Kate was all about the music being different.
Okay.
We gotta look. Yeah, I think he did. Didn't he do Ring of Honor?
Oh yeah, he was in that 4-way. He was in that 4-way with Orange Cassidy, Garcia, Shibata. Yeah, well, he lost that match too. Lord. So anytime you've basically seen him on a big AEW pay-per-view, he's lost. He has won. He won on Rampage, and he won on a Dynamite tag team match. So he's at least won. He beat Action Andretti. That's a huge win. But big pay-per-view matches, he's lost. Otherwise, you haven't seen him on AEW TV. Certainly hasn't been a consistent presence on the show. So I do think you need to highlight him and explain why this is actually a big match, not only for the company, but for Danielson as well. When you're asking people to pay $50, sure. If you want to put this match on free TV, go crazy. Do your dream matches on free TV. It's a different ball game when you're saying, hey, spend money on this match. All right, do super chats, Joel.
Yeah, let's get to these super chats. I almost clicked end stream by accident. Chi-Town Spurs says, see, I love it. Total craziness and so many things happening. It's why I prefer AEW to the commercial promo, entrance, commercial, WWE style layout. And I get that. WWE's presentation sometimes is A, a little too polished, and B, a little too like just robotic in the way that they present it. Whereas AEW, there's a medium somewhere. And the medium is Impact Wrestling. I'm just saying. No, but I understand it. Again, it's to your taste. There is a certain presentation to AEW that people really like, especially Dynamite, but also Collision's presented differently than Dynamite. So as a result, some people have floated over to the Collision side and are just like, I will watch Dynamite later, or I'll watch the clips online or something. So I kind of get it. And then Alan Mark sends a super chat saying, Rex Spec, it's Kyle O'Reilly under the mask with the Kingdom to create the Undisputed Kingdom with Kyle, Roddy, Taven Bennett, and Adam Cole, baby. Hey, I could see it happening. I don't know if I want to call him the Undisputed Kingdom. I think we can get away from the Undisputed, can't we?
No, I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
What was disputed in the Kingdom? Wouldn't the ruler of the Kingdom be disputed?
Well, now it's not.
Well,
I think the ruler in the Kingdom is disputed right now. Is it Taven? Is it Bennett? Is it Roddy? Is it Maria?
Maria. It's always Maria.
Yeah, true.
She rules, by the way.
Yeah,
She's putting together her own army.
Bro, Bobby Fish should come in there and kick all their asses, honestly. MJF should bring in Bobby Fish to counter all people.
Should.
Big Dick Bob Fish. Let's go.
Bobby Fish becoming the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion with the interim World Tag Team Champion with MJF. That's what we should do.
I'm for it.
If the Kingdom lose to MJF and it's a singles, like MJF solo, A, how does it happen? And B, does that just kind of define down the Kingdom who you just spent a few weeks trying to build up?
He's not wrestling the Kingdom, so who cares?
I keep saying the Kingdom. I'm sorry. The Righteous. Sorry. We're in this like Kingdom. We know where this is going, Jeremy.
Yeah, but we don't know if MJF is wrestling them solo.
He is. It's supposed to be MJF versus the Righteous.
I mean, when he faces the Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, no, the Kingdom's separate. We're talking about the Righteous.
I told you, I think you can have the Kingdom interfere and it backfire, but does it really backfire in this match and MJF wins?
I don't know. There's also like, could MJF just beat them with a double kangaroo kick and then they just make a big joke out of the Righteous?
I mean, yeah, MJF, the Ninja Crew could help MJ. Exactly. Like there are ways to kind of do this here. I think there are ways to do it because I don't think MJF's losing the title. If you have a longer term storytelling here with these titles and with potentially getting them on the Kingdom, you're not just gonna abandon that for the Righteous unless Adam Cole legitimately is gonna miss like 6 months, and then we gotta change course here.
How long do you think he's out?
It didn't look good. I will say that. Like, if you're telling me 3 broken bones and ligament damage, like that doesn't seem great.
Yeah, but also we can take the John Cena approach where WWE was like, he's out for 9 months and he was back in 3.
John Cena is a different human, man.
No. WWE, they knew that his return time was actually going to be 3 months.
Well, they didn't give a return time for Adam Cole.
No, they didn't. You're right, but that comes after the surgery.
Yeah, so once there, then we'll figure it out from there.
And again, it's very possible that they are overplaying the hand, or not. They're underplaying the hand, and that he's not. That they're saying he's more injured than he is. I'm not saying that he's not injured, but that the injury occurred and it's not as bad as they're saying it is. But
yeah, Jeff Valley Driver says it's possible he's legit injured, and then
Yes,
but
very
it's exaggerated.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We don't know, and I trust that Sean when he is saying that he feels confident enough to report not a work type of thing. So I don't think it is a work, but how bad is it? We won't know until after surgery. Could he still be on television with the ankle injury? And Bret Hart, he did it. He's out there in the wheelchair every single week. So you can still make him a focal point of television and pull this off. But of course, if we're going to lead to an MJF Adam Cole match, Adam Cole's got to be cleared for that.
Adam Cole and Roderick Strong in tandem wheelchairs.
Oh, we need the Days of Thunder wheelchair race in the hospital, baby. Or Nick Diaz. Who the fuck did Nick Diaz fight? He fought somebody and then they both went to the hospital and then they got into a fight at the hospital.
Oh, they did that with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly too.
Well, it's off of a Nick Diaz bit.
Yeah. But they did that. They did that whole thing in NXT as well.
Joe Riggs was the guy who Nick Diaz fought, and then they both went to the hospital and they got into another fight at the hospital.
Oh, they would. Tony Khan is waiting to do this angle, to do the WCW. Kevin Nash has his his leg covered, and then he picks up the big, the big Mexican blanket, and he's totally fine, and it's fake, and that's happening. That is absolutely on the docket.
Certainly could. Certainly could.
Let's get on out of here. It's time to go home, Jeremy.
Wait a second. It did arrive. I'm not going to give my shoot address, but it's here. I'm going to open this thing on the air. This is from Caden. I don't know if it's a birthday gift from last year. I don't know if it's a wedding gift from last year. I don't know if it's a birthday gift from this year. I have no idea what this is for because it's taken him at least a year to send it at this point. I hope a balloon does pop out. That would be hilarious, honestly. So we're gonna open this thing, and we'll see if Caden disappoints me like he typically does.
Wow, shots fired. Rightfully so. Justified shots fired.
Oh, it's a mug. I can always use coffee mugs because I drink a lot of coffee, as people know.
I assume it's a Taylor Swift and or Disney mug.
It is not, from what I can tell. It's very well. There's a lot of bubble wrap in here. Kids will love that. It's got a lot of tape on it. Hold on. Work with me, everybody. I got scissors.
I was going to say, get the knife.
Oh, I got scissors. We don't have knives in this house.
Seems bad. How do you handle steaks?
Scissors.
Scissors.
We scissor everything in this house.
Yeah, that you're cutting steak with scissors.
Yeah. Yeah, look at all this bubble wrap. All right, here we go. Oh boy, look at all that bubble wrap, by the way.
Sounded like it's broken.
Look at this. Look at this nice little SpongeBob mug I got. It's got my name on it too. Look at that, everybody.
Oh, very sweet. You can find it.
Oh, that's actually a keychain. Oh, this keychain, SpongeBob keychain with my name on it. There we go. You know what, Caden? This was actually very good. I give you credit for this. Thank you, Caden. I appreciate it. I still don't know if it was a birthday gift or wedding gift or what it was, but that was a very good gift, Caden. I can always use more coffee mugs with all the coffee that I drink. So thank you. Thank you.
$50 to sing the Canadian, the English version, and $100 to sing the German version.
I can't pull off the German version. You kidding me?
That's why we're asking $100.
Yeah.
Got to make that money somehow, Jeremy.
Joel's not important enough to get a gift. Let's be honest.
I get it. Wait a minute. That was mean.
All right. What are we doing? Oh, we're plugging stuff. Okay.
Yeah, you got to plug your thing.
All right. It's going to be a busy weekend. Everyone send me coffee for my weekend. And let's see. Yeah, not important enough. Who cares? So everyone send me coffee, please, for my weekend. I don't want the Gary card. I don't want it, Louis. I got to earn it. I have to earn it. No one send me a Gary card. I will send it back or I'll sell it myself. I'm not keeping it though. No one do that. Important weekend, busy weekend. I'm going to be working a lot, but the most important thing I'm doing this weekend is I'm going to take my lovely, beautiful wife to see Bret Hart. And that is all I care about this weekend. The rest of this weekend, I don't care. I can kick rocks. I did an interview with Ilya Dragunov. That's up now. Go watch that if you would like to. That's on youtube.com/Fightful. Everyone can go listen to me talk to Ilya Dragunov. He was very, very good guy to talk to. He's done a lot of media. Hopefully I gave you guys something new from the other 300 interviews that he has done over the past week promoting NXT No Mercy. Hopefully everyone enjoys the conversation I had with Ilya Dragunov. Go watch that, youtube.com/Fightful. Don't follow me on Twitter. Follow at @FightTalk_. We will be on main channel Monday. I will have very little sleep. It will be my anniversary, and I'm sure I'll be in a great mood for one of those reasons. Everyone come watch us then and there and all that stuff.
Can you hold up 2 fingers?
Joel, I was going to do it. Like, don't, when you were doing your ending. Okay.
Okay. Do the heart then.
I'm not doing any of it now. Joel ruined it, everybody. He ruined it because I was going to do it as like, haha, we discovered this. Here's the very fun thing. But then Joel's asking for it and he just ruins the surprise. So I'm not doing it, everybody. Blame Joel.
Wouldn't be the first time. I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. No Joel and Kate at 8 this week because Kate is having fun in Seattle living her wrestlingist dreams. And we'll be back on Monday on the main, just like Jeremy said. So how about go enjoy your wrestling this weekend? Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, we will see you on Monday. Cheers.